You can take a look at my pricing and tell me how low it is. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gloria and I'm a graphic designer living in Seoul, South Korea. Today, we are going to be continuing our 10-part series on the entire client brand design process using a real client, Okanagan Beauty. She is a client that was a friend from high school, and her brand is a lashes distribution and other local beauty products distributor. So we're going to be using this client to talk about the entire process of onboarding. So what exactly is onboarding? Well, it's the initial stage when a client contacts you or reaches out to you for your design services, and how you respond to that client determines whether that client wants to work with you or not. Think about your own journey as a customer. When you're looking for somebody to provide a service, or you're looking for a very specific product that you want to buy, you have your standards in mind and you want to pick somebody or something who clearly and definitively meets all of your standards, checks all those boxes, which is why it's super important to be clear about who you are and what services you provide, and do it in a way that is professional and doesn't discourage your clients from wanting to work with you. As a graphic designer, your role goes way beyond just trying to make things look pretty. You have to juggle so many things, wear so many hats, and that includes advertising and communication. Things like late responses, unprofessional branding can discourage potential clients from wanting to work with you. So that's why it's essential to make this process as seamless and easy for your clients as possible. I know I'm a flighty customer, and any slight thing that seems off can discourage me from buying something, so your clients will probably be like that too. So to think about the onboarding process, we're going to put ourselves into the shoes of the customer and talk about their customer journey. And the customer journey in the onboarding process can be defined by 4 steps: awareness, inquiry, contact, and confirmation. So if you want to know how best to keep your clients' interest, continue watching this video. Awareness. How do you become aware of other people's products, and how do potential clients become aware of your products? They could have stumbled across your YouTube channel, it could be a word of mouth recommendation, Instagram, Behance, etc., etc., etc. There are so many methods of gaining traffic and awareness to your services. So if a potential client does happen to stumble across one of these channels, ensuring that your branding is on point across all of these channels is super, super important. Whether they stumble across your website or your Instagram, who you are, what services you provide, and who you're targeting should be immediately visible and known to the client. I think this is not the time to try and sound smart and hit your word count on your essay. Make sure you are clear, make sure you're concise, make sure you're straight to the point. Don't use jargon or art speak, because let's be honest, it's confusing to all of us and can sometimes come across as pretentious. So make sure you are using language that is easily understandable to your target audience. When you go to my website, you know exactly who I am and what I do. Hi, I'm Gloria. I design vibrant, bold brands and packaging for small business owners. It's that simple. It can be as clear and easy as that. This clear communication helps clients to identify if I offer the services that they require. Make sure that the work that you have on your portfolio is the kind of work that you want to be doing. Since my target audience is small business owners, that is literally all I have on there. I also come from an illustration background, and I really like to do illustrative work in my stuff, so I made sure to have a section for that. As well, I really like to work with a lot of colors, so I made sure to include my colorfulist projects. Showing stuff like this strengthens your brand identity and make sure that you attract clients looking for similar aesthetics. Utilize client testimonials to establish trust and credibility. Positive feedback from clients can significantly influence the client's decision to work with you. So on my client website, I have 3 testimonials from clients who I worked with that really liked my stuff. You can get a testimonial by reaching out to old clients that loved your work, using references from managers if you worked on a design team, or even from professors from school if you haven't had real-world experiences yet. The goal for the awareness phase of the client for you is to make sure that they can easily understand who you are and what services you provide. This sets the foundation for a really positive onboarding experience where they feel really confident and probably a little bit excited about reaching out to you for your services. Inquiry. Your client has been made aware of who you are, what services you provide, and they make the steps to reach out to you. During this time, it is essential to make this process really easy and reassuring for them. Like I said, your website or any touch point should clearly identify who you are and what services you provide as a graphic designer. So make sure that you're crystal clear about everything and the services that you offer. The services page outlines exactly what I offer. There is no room for confusion. Pricing is a critical aspect, and whether or not you want to be transparent about your prices, it's totally up to you. Keep in mind who your target customers are and how they might behave in a situation where they are doing the research gathering and analysis phase while searching for somebody that they would like to work with. Because my target clients are people who are operating small businesses, I know that they're probably operating on less of a budget. So the typical behavior of a client like that is that they often consider pricing first in their list of needs. So I choose to display my prices openly on my website. However, if you're targeting, say, like tech companies or SSAS or engineering firms, etc., they're probably more likely to reach out for custom quotes. So on my website, I have a place where you can download a price package as well as a price calculator that I created. The tool that I used, and no, this is not sponsored, is called Calconic. And I was searching for something like this for such a long time, and to build a calculator after figuring out how to use this application is quite easy. It's free, which is amazing, and super flexible. You could basically use it to make any kind of quote that you want. In terms of design style, it's very flexible too. You can use a bunch of custom fonts and colors to make it suitable to your branding. I really recommend this. I'm not even sponsored by this. I just think it's really amazing, and I use it actually for other things too. This allows potential clients to get an instant idea of how much the services that they need will cost. Another way to filter out the more serious from the curious customers. I find that the more excited I am to work on a project, the more flexible I am in terms of pricing. I also offer sliding scale design services. Some potential scenarios for allowing a lower budget would be heart-based pricing, as well as design work for underprivileged or marginalized communities. I find that pricing myself as a freelancer is probably one of the hardest things to navigate. It sucks to lose a potential client because of your rates, and let's be honest, they are always way too low for the work that you do. Every conversation with a client feels a little bit like tug of war, but I find that having my prices clearly listed on my website prevents kind of any of this awkwardness that comes from the "so how much is it gonna cost?" conversation. I typically operate on a project-based basis, and then the services that I don't really have as my main focus, but I do offer anyways, I offer at an hourly rate. You can take a look at my pricing and tell me how low it is. I am really of the opinion that it's important to be transparent about the amount of money that you're making and the amount of money that you're charging. Because if we aren't, and we don't, the rate just keeps getting lower and lower. If we don't talk about it with other graphic designers, then it's actually worse for all of us. So this is why I'm choosing to share this information with all of you, in the hopes that you will do the same with other people and we can all make more money, because life is hard. Questionnaire. Some designers prefer to utilize a client questionnaire after they have contacted their client in some way, shape, or form and kind of confirmed what their goals and vision are. But for me, I like to do it before. So I just have it on my contact page, and if a client wants to send me an inquiry, my email is listed there too, so they can do it separately if they want. This questionnaire covers a range of topics that I will be using later to kind of inform the questions that I have for them on my onboarding call, as well as some of the information that I'll be researching in my brand strategy and brand research phase. I found that a lot of these things the clients haven't really thought about before, especially if it's kind of a new brand. So it forces them to really think about their brand and what they want for their branding. So these questions, they're really concise, they're very simple. I think simplicity is key, and if things are too hard, that discourages clients from wanting to continue the process and work with you. Like I said, we are little fickle pickles. Any inconvenience or slight bump in the log is enough to make somebody go, I don't know about this guy. As well, I also ask clients to make and send a Pinterest board. This allows them to visually communicate their needs and aspirations for their brand/packaging. It also helps me to determine if we're a good fit aesthetically or visually. So this was the questionnaire from Okanagan Beauty and the Pinterest board. And this Pinterest board was filled with playful and vibrant designs. It really aligned with my style and my expertise. So I was really confident that we could make something really awesome together. An efficient inquisition process sets the stage for a really successful onboarding experience. and ensures that you and the client can move forward confidently with the project. Contact. This is where we start to build a really strong designer-client relationship and ensure that we have really effective communication throughout the project. So after they've sent out an inquiry using the questionnaire form, I receive that through my inbox and my email and ensure that I have as prompt a response as possible. On my website, on my questionnaire, I have a section where it tells them how much time it might take for me to respond, which is a couple of days. But if you can not do that and respond to them as quickly as possible, that lessens the chance of them reaching out to other potential designers and just makes you look so much better. To streamline my responses for the different scenarios that may arise, I have created a bunch of email templates kind of with copy-paste responses that I can send to each phase of the client process. These templates cover common inquiries and ensure consistency in my communication. Scheduling a call is a really crucial step in establishing a personal relationship with the client. And for this, you may have seen in my last video, I use Calendly. So this is a fantastic tool that allows clients to pick the time that works best for you and for them. Since I live in Korea, the time zone of a lot of my clients is completely flipped. So this allows both of us to pick a time that works best for us. Calendly is amazing because you can actually sync it with your Google Calendar. So if you have appointments on your Google Calendar, it can automatically block people from selecting those times, and you can also determine the allotted time before and after an appointment that you have your next appointment, etc., etc. It's really flexible. I'm just using the free version and it's game changer. There's also an option for them to tell you which platform to schedule your video call on and send follow-up emails, reminder emails. It's all automated. It just makes you seem so professional and well put together. So there's a few things that I like to do before the actual discovery call. The first is, respond to their email. And the second is to schedule an appointment. And the third is to make the project proposal. So project proposal is a game changer. And if you think you don't need one, yes, you do. I used to work at a really well-established engineering firm where I was tasked with redesigning their project proposals. And let me tell you, if a huge, well-established engineering firm with, loads of testimonials and a big client base, really, really trustworthy, uses project proposals, then you definitely need to use project proposals. Think about the client and what their process is. If they come to you, that means that they're already looking at a few people to choose from. So they're looking at this person, this person, this person, this person. And if graphic designer 1, 2, and 3 sends them a project proposal and you send them a link to your portfolio, who are they gonna pick? Probably not you. Sorry. But before I kind of invest a lot of time into creating the project proposal, I like to confirm that we actually do have a call because you don't want to waste your time. And so I can take all of the information that they gave me in the questionnaire to form and guide the project proposal and kind of tailor it to all of the things that they're looking for. In this project proposal is everything they need to know about who I am as a designer, as well as all the things that will go into their project if they decide to choose me. So we have my introduction, we have my promise, very, very short, because who likes to read a wall of text? I know I don't. I just skim. I'm a skimmer. I'll admit it. I'm a skimmer. We have the business objectives, exactly what I will provide for them. We have their project process and timeline. We have the project deliverables, including which design package, if they're deciding to go with one of my packages, of which I offer 3. Relevant experience, so exactly what I've done in the past, whether it be a mock project or real life example that will suit kind of the style or thing that they're looking for, as well as what deliverables they can expect, and the details, exact specifications of those deliverables. The project investment, which includes a cost and time frame, so exact breakdown of where all of the hours will go. And then we have the cost at the bottom. We have the additional services that you provide and the cost. Then we have the FAQ. We have the next steps, things that they should check off in their list to help the client keep a little bit more organized, and how you will communicate with them. And this is where I think it's a little bit different of how I approach a project proposal from other designers. I choose to review their mood board and their client questionnaire and everything they have sent me, and then create 3 mood boards to present during the client call itself. For me, I have a lot of questions after I read somebody's client questionnaire, so having something visual to prepare for them, you know, even if they say everything sucks and I don't like any of this, like, what were you thinking? At least will help you kind of determine a direction from which to go with when you do start to do research and get more into depth in it. And then finally, we have the goodbye. If you would like to download my template and use that as a base, I have an Adobe Illustrator as well as an InDesign version available for sale up on my website. This includes the actual copy that I use in these proposals, as well as a client example that you can use to base your references around. Huge time saver and ensures that you cover all bases. So it's time to conduct the discovery call. How the heck do I do that? The client discovery call is a crucial part of the onboarding process. It sets the tone for the rest of the projects and allows you to clearly communicate and visualize what your customer wants for their project. Before the call, I always ensure that I have a pen and a pencil to record anything that we talk about. Alternatively, you can ask the client for permission to record their call. I also do background information on the company to ensure that I am asking the right questions in order to get what I need to start the design process. I already naturally have some questions as I review the information that they provided to me on the client questionnaire, so I make sure to include those in my discovery call as well. To keep the call focused, I make sure that I am leading the conversation and I already have an idea of how the call will go. I'll use Okanagan Beauty as an example. The first phase of the call is chit chat or small talk. You kind of just get to know them on a personal level, who they are, what they do, maybe a few questions about their business. So since the client was a friend from high school, we talked for a while about, you know, kind of just where we've been in our lives, what we've been up to, and gossiped about a few people from our high school. And then after the self-introductions, we talked more about exactly what she wanted for her brand and her company. So she explained the problem that she had, the kind of clients that she wanted to reach out to, and sometimes it's a really easy conversation, sometimes it's a really long conversation, sometimes it's a short conversation because the client doesn't really know what they want, which is why it's important to have all these questions and research and things that, you know, prompt ideas from the both of you. And then I like to present the project proposal, and we go through each step of the document. If it has a lot of text, I don't really read the text. I kind of just, talk about who I am and what services I provide, then jump straight into what I can do for them. Then we get to the mood board presenting phase, where I talk about my findings with their questionnaire and kind of, if I have an idea in my head already, the kind of vibe and tone that I think that we should go for. After presenting the project proposal and the mood boards, I like to use this website called Mural. So Mural is a website that allows you to brainstorm visually. So on my mural with Okanagan Beauty, I have the name of the brand, I have a short little introduction and kind of problem point and what they're hoping to accomplish with my services. And then we have a section of everything I have a question about. So I've split it into different deliverables. And then at the end, I have a section called admin, which is things that I need to remember to talk about and discuss with the client. So this is something that you have already talked about within your proposal, but if you have any further questions, then you can kind of solidify them here. So for my sections, I have brand, logo, illustrations, packaging, admin. All the things that I want to clarify and make sure I have right, or maybe there's gaps in information that I, need to hear from them. We have the audience, so how old they are, what gender they are, what they do for a profession. And then we have current brand guidelines. We talk a little bit about that and any motifs that they may want to keep. Brand personality, are they fun? Are they serious? Are they modern? Are they smart? Are they silly? We have the color palette. We have their brand story, kind of, what they're hoping to portray, as well as branding goals. We have their logo, things that they like about it, things that they don't like about it, what kind of style that they want, want, what their taglines are, what text that they should put into the logo. And then we have, if they want something symbolic or any specific motifs that they want to incorporate into their logo. We have their illustrations, what type of style, other motifs that they want, if you're making pattern for them, or little icons. We have the packaging, so products and services, which kind of things exactly, how many, designs that they want, and what kind of designs that they want, as well as plans for the future. So whether this is a design that is a one-off or they plan on making this part of a series. Then we have administration, so how they prefer to communicate and how I prefer to communicate. And then we go over the payment, and we talk about how much it's going to be total, and then also whether or not they want to split it up into 2 payments or do it all at once. We talk about the timeline and also the next steps. It's really important to listen and actually really, really listen to what the client has to say, so you can ask more questions and get a better understanding of what their visions are. Don't leave any stone unturned. If you have anything that you are unsure about, ask them. So before wrapping up the meeting, I just remind them of the next steps moving forward, and I'll send a follow-up email with the project proposal, the mood boards, a link to the mural, as well as to provide details about the conversation and the contract. Confirm. So we confirm the agreement and we start the design journey. After receiving the signed contract, I create a client portal. So I use Google Drive to send files to my client. I feel like it's a really excellent way of managing project files, as well as it's on the cloud, so they can access it from everywhere. I know everybody uses Notion, and maybe it'll be there one day, but for now, I find that it just has so many resources and things that you can use it for that it's a little bit too overwhelming for me, and I create a shared folder, give them access, and put everything that we talk about into this folder. First, we have client presentations, which is where I put all the documents that I create for them in. Next, we have contracts and invoices, which is exactly what it sounds like. We have discovery questionnaire, which is where I take all of the answers from their initial discovery questionnaire and I put it into a Google document and just keep it in there for my reference, for their reference. Then we have brand files, which is all of the documents that they have sent to me. So if they have old logo designs, or in my case, she sent me the packaging guidelines, I keep those in there. We have production, which is where I put all of the files of things that are ready for them to download. For the last folder, I have packaging design, and this is the folder that they use to send the finished packaging design to their printer. I'm a big Google stan and such a big fan of all of the different kind of applications and services that they provide. So as well as the client folders, I also have, a PDF of client FAQs that they can refer to, a client feedback form. So when we are fully completed our project, I send them a link to the client feedback form where I have a really, really quick questionnaire where they can give me positive or negative feedback about the whole experience. We have Google Sheets page with a project overview. So I create a timeline for every project of, every stage that we're going to go through and the expected date that it's going to be completed. And then I create a Google site, and this is where I put links and resources, things that you can't really put into a folder. So on here I have my Pinterest board as well as her Pinterest board. We have the initial mural that we discussed. We have the link to the Google Drive. We have all of the brand collateral, and this is stuff that I create later. So I use Canva to create templates. I find that this is a more professional way of showcasing the templates that you have created rather than just, copying and pasting a link and sending it to them on Instagram DMs. So with all of this information and details in place, it is time to kickstart the project. This onboarding process has laid a solid foundation for you and your client to have a successful collaboration. Thank you so much for watching this video on the onboarding phase of the client design process. If you found this information valuable, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up. It really helps me and helps with that algo. And subscribe to my channel because this is part 2 of a 10-part series on the client brand design process. I'm sharing everything with you, all my secrets for you. I don't even have a paywall, guys. This is all for free. Take it. Like I said earlier, I have shared all of the information and what is on my project proposal template. Literally screenshots. You can take screenshots, guys. But if you want to make your life a little bit more easier, I also have it available for purchase on my website. Because I'm releasing this series week by week, if you have any questions about anything at all, anything specific, please drop a comment down below and I will do my best, I promise, to address it in the next video. I will leave all the links to all the resources that I've listed in my video down below. And make sure to check out my Instagram where I post a lot more frequently than my YouTube channel. Because life. The next part of this series is all about research and brand strategy. From finding the brand's target audience to conducting market research, I will be going over exactly what you should be researching when it comes to creating the perfect brand for your clients. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have the most excellent of days, and until next time, goodbye.